Hello, I'm Tim Westley. It's been a blessing to hear from constituents from the northern to the southern portion of the district. And what I've been able to hear so far is that many of the people are simply excited about the opportunity of being able to have God back into politics. It's been a unique journey thus far. Without a doubt, it's been a unique journey. A few months ago, running for United States Congress was not something that was on my mind, but as I continue to just be ministered to by God Himself, I found myself just kind of hearing Him hearkening to my heart, telling me that it's time to do something, time to make sure that He was pronounced within the political realm. And I've been excited. I've been excited about this journey since we started. My Team Gideon, we've been a small team from day one, yet we've been a mighty powerful team because of God. A lot of things have taken place over the last 60 days, a lot of exciting things whereby we've just seen God show up one time after another. And by all means, God has been in places that we were arriving at. He was already there just waiting for great things to happen. Nevertheless, I just want to talk to you all a little bit about my background, about who I am, because not a lot of people have gone to the site, and many have. But the point is that I wanted to share a little bit about my background. You can find a lot of information that I'll share with you on my website at wesley2016.com. I hadn't been a career politician, as many know by now. I just got into this race here recently. Pretty much we were able to go and deem that we were going to be on the ballot on the last possible day. With that being said, it was from God's prompting. Have no regrets. As I was talking with my son, I have no regrets about getting into such a campaign. It's been a great journey thus far, and I'm praying that the journey will continue. I came from a working class family for the most part, a single parent home. And with that being said, not just mom had to go and work when she could, but also we had to do different things in order to make sure that we were able to make ends meet. And that's something that, as I look back over time, I'm proud of, and at the same time, I would not trade it for the world. Coming up in a single parent home with 5 children in the house, it taught me a lot. It taught me the importance of making sure that love was present. It taught me the importance of God and His role in our lives. And it taught me the importance of making sure that we can take care of one another. Those are some of the same things that I'm planning to take to Washington, D.C. and throughout the District 15 here in Texas. My goal is to make sure that people are heard. I've been hearing from constituents again over the last several weeks, been hearing their concerns, their great concerns, not just my platform issues that we've discussed, but things that were not a part of my platform that many sought to see become part of the platform if I'm elected to go and represent 15th District of Texas. I'm excited about what's been taking place. God has been able to bless me so many times. I was about 19 years of age when my mom passed away. And again, I'm the youngest of 5. And when she passed away, I lost a best friend. But I also gained confidence through her life that she lived all the way up into her mid-40s. And the confidence I gained was confidence in God. And with that confidence in God, I found that I can do anything. And she would always encourage me to do just that. I went to college for a little while immediately after high school. I went into a junior college in Louisiana, Shreveport, Louisiana, where I'm originally from. And upon going into junior college, I did like a lot of kids do. I had a little bit too much fun, unfortunately, and I didn't do well initially in school, not because I couldn't do the work, but because I was not focused. I eventually went into the military shortly after, and I did 7 years in the Army, United States Army active duty, and I did 1 year in the Texas National Guard. But the unique thing is that immediately upon getting to my first duty station, which was Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, I went right back to school within a few months, and I continued school the entire time I was on active duty. And I give glory to God because not only was I able to become the first college graduate in my family with a bachelor's degree in religion, but I was also able to continue on and get a master's degree, and I'm now just a few months away from completing a PhD in educational leadership. So I thank God for the opportunity of education, and that's going to be one of the things that I'm going to stand on as far as a platform, making sure that we're able to educate our youth. I've seen a lot in my lifetime. I've been blessed to be married for over 20 years. I have 3 beautiful children that are now, 2 of them are adults and 1 is 14 years old. And I have 2 grandsons. And so God has blessed me to be able to have and see and keep a family so long. And so I'm thankful for that. In addition to my education background, I've been fortunate enough and blessed enough to be able to author 3 books. Those books have been able to bless so many people. Many of the books, time and time again, as the first 2 were written, they were being shipped off into different places where the soldiers could appreciate them through the USO. And so God has blessed me to do so many things as far as service of to and for our veterans, not just during this time of a political season, but prior to this. I've been a grassroots leader with helping veterans to understand their rights, the benefits that are available for them, and I've been helping them from enlisted to officer for over a decade. So this is something that I've been doing for the long haul. It's not anything new just for politics. My goal from getting into this election was to make sure that I can indeed represent the people. We hear about history, we hear about our U.S. Constitution, we hear about how things were intended to be, which was that we were going to get someone from amongst us, someone that we can even call our peer, but a leader, no doubt. And we were going to get that person, make sure that they were elected to be able to go to places like Washington, D.C. in particular, to represent our interests, not special interests, not the 1%, but to be able to represent the majority. That majority is those people that you're elected to represent. So I want to go back to that. I don't want to continue to see complaint after complaint. And the complaints I hear, they're valid complaints, and they're just complaints, and I understand them. And many people have lost trust in the political system. They've lost trust in the politicians that are elected, and they continue, unfortunately, to elect the same type politicians. Well, I'm one that I believe that God is indeed leading the way, and I believe that it's time for us to hear his voice once again in our country and in our state and throughout our district. And with that being said, my background as a pastor, I'm not just talking about putting God back into politics. I've been a volunteer pastor for over 10 years. At this point, I'm moving towards that 10-year anniversary mark, though I started the incorporation over 10 years ago. And so with that being said, God has blessed me to help people, not just from an educational point of view, but also from a spiritual point of view. And he's helped me to be able to see what role he has played in the development of our country from its onset all the way through the great days that followed the onset and beyond. And he's simply saying that he wants to get back to that place with this nation, with this state, with our district, and without a doubt, I believe that I'm the candidate to be able to ensure that happens. This is something that I've been working at for, like I said, over 10 years, and so there is more about me and my background as you look at the website, as I mentioned before, Wesley2016.com. But ultimately, I want to be able to do great things for District 15. I want to make sure that people are fully aware that when I go, it's not about the money. It's not about the position. It's not about the status, because I really consider myself as a community leader more than anything. And with that being said, I'm wearing the title of politician because that's how we are typically labeled. But for the most part, I'm not a traditional politician by a long shot. And with that being said, my goal is to make sure that whatever the constituents' needs are, if they're aligning with my principles and we can come to an agreement as to what's going to work best for our community, then those are going to be the things that I want to go forth and fight for, as long as they're not in conflict with who I am as a person, because we know that if we look around at our country, we look around at our state, look around throughout our district, we can see that there are some morality challenges there. And with that being said, I want to make sure that we're hearing from God as we make decisions as to what's going to happen throughout District 15, from the greatest level to the smallest level. I think his voice matters. And that's going to be one of my goals as we move forward. I want to ensure, you all have heard me mention it before, I want to ensure that we protect the children, those that are unborn. Since I started this campaign, we've had thousands, and I do mean thousands, and the tens of thousands of babies that have been aborted. And that's over the last 60 days. We've had tens of thousands, and that's just over the last 60 days. I want to ensure that when it comes down to our border, that we get the needed resources to the border. We get the needed physical resources as well, increasing the amount of Border Patrol agents that we have, and making sure that we're utilizing other resources to fulfill those needs needs when we're lacking manpower. I want to make sure that our infrastructure is taken care of. I want to ensure that we're not just looking at a fence to run 1,900 miles plus, but we're looking at those resources and seeing if there are better ways that we can utilize that over $20 billion that's proposed to be spent on such a fence that will need to be maintained. I want to look at not just our larger cities, but I want to look at the small towns, because our district, for those who have been blessed enough to see the district, it encompasses not just the large cities, but also smaller cities and smaller towns. My goal is to make sure that their concerns are addressed as well, and that these are not dying cities, but these cities become vibrant once again. These cities become cities that are prospering, cities that people are flocking to want to call home and make that a place of permanent residence for themselves. I'm excited about what's taking place in District 15. I'm excited about the possibility of representing you all. We're moving closer towards the early election, which we're less than 2 weeks away, beginning on February 16th. So we want to keep that date in mind. We want to keep in mind that we want to evaluate all the candidates. Look at them. Take a look at them. You know, if you hadn't taken a look at them, take a look at them. And I'm praying that each of you that has an opportunity to view this video, if you are a believer, if you are a believer of God, if you follow God, if you believe that God exists and that he matters, I'm just asking that you all would take a moment and pray. Take a moment and pray and just seek God and ask God for yourselves. Lord, which candidate is going to be the best candidate to represent this district? Who will it be, God? And I want you all to hear from God and vote with your conscience, vote with your heart, vote with your spirit. Whatever God leads you and however he leads you and whoever he leads you to vote for. I'm praying that that person will be me, and I'm praying that the Holy Spirit will allow you all to hear that you are in sync with me and the things that I want to do for this district as I hear from God myself. But ultimately, I'm praying for better things for District 15, and the journey does not stop here, regardless of what happens for early election in March 1st. I will continue to fight for things for District 15. I'll continue to make sure that my voice is heard as I'm listening to the voices of those in District 15. And whoever wins, regardless of what party I'm from, I'll make sure that I can support them as much as I possibly can in right conscience. And so with that being said, I'm just asking that you all seek God as well, hear from him as we move forward. I'm excited about what's taking place. I don't know about you, but this is an exciting time of year. We have an opportunity to get a new congressman in the district for the first time in over almost 20 years, and that's exciting. Lots of things can be viewed as positive that have taken place, and you know, some things, of course, may definitely have needed some work through the 20 years. Yet, when it comes down to an opportunity for new leadership, we know that can bring a spark to any place, including a district the size of ours. And so I'm excited for the possibility of being that person to bring that spark into District 15, and that excitement that is needed, and also that change that is needed, not just for the district, but also for the state of Texas and also for our nation. I want to be that voice. So finding your heart to support this campaign, I ask that you would do that. Not just through your prayers, but also through your vote and also through your donations, because you know, this campaign has been the campaign we have dubbed ourselves the Gideon campaign for a reason. We've been small, but we've been mighty because of God. Yet it does not mean we lack common sense to know that if God wants to utilize someone, we want to make sure y'all have an opportunity to participate with this what I would call a historic congressional run. And with that being said, please feel free to stop by our website at any time, Wesley 2016. And make a donation, whatever it may be. And many people think that the donation that they make may be too small, and so they don't donate. But understand this, I'll give you one example. For every $25 donated, we can reach up to 50 families, 50 households without a problem. And so that means that, and those 50 can be multiplied depending on how many people they share the campaign with. So don't think that your donation is too small, whether it's $25, $5, whatever it may be. It all adds up. It goes towards a great purpose, which is to make sure that the voice that you believe in has the opportunity to get elected and also go and represent you from Texas to DC. So I'm just asking you again, go to Wesley2016.com and consider supporting the campaign. Thanks again. I'll be coming back to you all quite a few times over the next few days before early election. May God bless and be with you is my prayer. God bless.